what has to change before people accept crypto as a viable asset?
Joe, until the Clarity Act passes and gives some regulatory authority where most average Americans feel that they can invest in cryptocurrency in their 401ks and just overall investments, you're going to see a little bit of a delay in terms of mass adoption amongst people in the United States. Pretty much, I'll even say all of North America. Now, with the Clarity Act being up in the Senate and the House, once that passes and people feel like they don't have to remember a 12 or 24 word seed phrase, you'll start to see mass adoption. People will start to understand the utility, have to focus less on the security of their assets and more of how those assets can make their lives easier and actually earn them a return.
And Matt, how's that going to impact the economy and economic development?
That's a great question. I mean, the blockchain itself can be used in so many different ways, including something we call smart contracts. And that can really help companies with logistics. It can help even our government in storage of personal documents, legal documents like real estate titles and deeds, for example. So there are a lot of practical uses for the blockchain technology itself. And I think that's where the economic development kick comes in.
All right, hello and welcome to the Kanawha Valley Hustlers. This is Joe Justice. I'm here with Scott and Matt. Scott, tell me, what's your hustle?
Well, in this case, Joe, it's trying to grow cryptocurrency in the city of Charleston in the state of West Virginia, so West Virginians can get in at the right time, make a good return on their money, and we can turn West Virginia with the passage of the DUNA bill and hopefully the Clarity Act on a larger scale into a home for, future development of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, and so West Virginians can continue building good, solid wealth.
And Matt, what's the name of this group that you guys have put together?
So several years ago, we put together kind of an it started informally, and then we sort of made it legal and created an LLC where some folks with common interest in West Virginia, in the Charleston area specifically, but throughout West Virginia, kind of came together to create an investment club, if you will, much like you would do with stocks, but in this case with cryptocurrency. And it's been primarily focused on education, first and foremost, helping people understand cryptocurrency, digital assets, and the blockchain.
And is this a club that anybody can join?
Theoretically, yes. There are certain times throughout the year where we allow new members to come in. And it's open to anyone.
Scott, what's a common misconception people have about crypto?
Cryptocurrency over the past few years, unfortunately, has had dealing with certain meme coins meaning coins that don't really have a lot of utility, but more of just a joke, kind of like your Trump coin, kind of like your Shiba Inu coin, Dogecoin, have kind of spread liquidity thin on real projects like Ethereum and Bitcoin. And on top of that, you've had a market, we're in a bear market. Bitcoin seems to still run in cycles, whether you want to believe it or not. And with the market being a little bit edgy at the moment and people struggling financially with liquidity, interest rates being high, you don't have a lot of people being risk on at the moment. With that being said, as crypto continues to get mass adoption, as regulation goes into effect, you'll start to see more people buy into it and actually see the true utility and see strong returns on their purchases.
And Matt, when did you start this club and what problems were you trying to solve?
Really, it's all been about education. We started in 2019, and just a lot of people still didn't understand the crypto market. I didn't.
Still don't?
And still don't. So, what is this all about? I'm all about exploring new technology. This was a new technology. Why not get people together who are interested and learn more? If we make a few dollars at it, great, but it was really about education. And we've seen so many things happen since then, and we do see it more common in the marketplace. You turn on the news, and it's this being reported the same as a stock would be. So we're seeing more adoption. We're seeing it become more customary, and we're starting to see people invest in it like they would in any other kind of asset class.
Scott, when you first started out with cryptocurrency, what was a mistake that you made and what'd you learn from it?
So I bought my first Bitcoin, Joe, not whole Bitcoin, mind you, it was a different situation. 2013, I watched it go through Silk Road, which I was a huge fan of. I think for me, the biggest issue I've had is you want to jump into the new thing. People get FOMO, which is fear of missing out, So you saw the NFT boom and bust in 2021 and 2022. That was exciting. It was also very devastating. You saw high yields on assets like Terra Luna, like FTX. I didn't luckily get caught up in too much of that. I got caught up in Voyager. I luckily got out. But sometimes with cryptocurrency, if it's too true, or if it's too good to be true, it usually is. That's the old saying. Yeah. And cryptocurrency is the poster child of that right now. If it sounds too good, if the yield is too high, it's not real. There's a lot of risk. I think that myself, many of other, you get excited, you get, new technology, a chance to make some good returns. Again, you're still dealing with a very volatile asset class. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. You're still pretty much in the second inning of 9 innings of where this asset class is going to go. So again, just do your due diligence. I cannot stress that enough.
Matt, what are some of the challenges that the crypto world is dealing with today in 2026?
There's still quite a bit because there's not a clear regulatory framework, and that's what Scott's talking about with the Clarity Act and some of the other legislation. Some states have been very proactive on this, but the federal government hasn't been as active. States like Wyoming and some others have passed some really pro-crypto legislation that helps regulate things, but the federal government has really been lax to do that, and the Clarity Act currently is being kind of held up in Congress. There's been some positive movement in it, but not quite all the way through full legislation. So that's been the big challenge. Creating a framework that everybody can understand that is going to give some more institutional investors kind of the confidence that they need to invest in the market. But in regard to the market, we've seen the volatility come down quite a bit since the early days, the wild, wild west days, so to speak. People are already getting more comfortable in it, and we're seeing, sort of funds and things started to be created, ETFs. We're starting to see all this developed in the market where it's becoming more adopted by the general public, I think.
Scott, for people, I know you can, go down an endless YouTube rabbit hole on Bitcoin and find websites and everything else. If somebody's like really seriously wanting to get good quality information and get started in crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, any of those, what would be a really solid place to start?
There's a lot of good YouTube channels that deal with Bitcoin. A lot of them have taken a certain approach at this point, whether you're bearish, which means you don't think the market's going to go up, or bullish, you think the market's going to do great. A few that, if you want basic knowledge, and I'm just going to focus on crypto here, not stocks, but just crypto. Cryptos Are Us, a guy named George, he's always been very good. He live streams frequently, shares a lot of good information about the daily headlines, has a good Q&A at the end. He's strong. You have Ben Cohen, he's strong. If you YouTube Bitcoin, you're going to find a million channels, right? The thing is, a lot of these channels have a biased take to them. A lot of guys are really heavily invested and they want to be bullish all the time. A lot of people just are anti-crypto in general, anti-Bitcoin, they're going to be bearish. You could do a lot of good due diligence. Look at coinmarketcap.com. It'll show the market cap, show the volume of the coins. You want to make sure, again, there's so many offerings at this point. Offerings meaning coins and tokens that you can invest in. Liquidity is spread so thin. You want to focus on the ones that are going to be here when things actually hit the fan. Ethereum, Bitcoin. I like Chainlink a lot. Again, I'm more of a guy that believes in a handful of projects as opposed to more alternative coins. Some people would take the opposite approach. But again, if there's a massive quantity of resources out there if you want to learn it, again, bitcointalk.org is a great website, one that's very old. You can read user-generated content about Bitcoin, and it'll give you a whole different perspective as opposed to just watching CNBC and seeing what people are saying in terms of just the market side of it. You'll read about the utility of Bitcoin, where it's going to go, people's ideas of how it's going to actually have real utilization for everyday Americans.
And Matt, for people in the Charleston area that might want to look into the club and learn a little bit more, what's the best way for them to get started?
The best way is to reach out to one of the members. That's the easiest way. And what we've typically done in the past is we've brought people that are interested in as a guest. Come to the meeting, see what it's all about, see if it's something you're comfortable with, and then we can get into the details of how how a person would become a new member. I would just add, actually, to what Scott was saying, when I really wanted to learn, I literally bought the book Bitcoin for Dummies and read through it, and that really helped me understand the background and all the nuance of the coin and really the blockchain that's behind the coin, I should say. And so even something as simple as that can really be helpful.
That's the way to go. Well, as we're kind of wrapping up here, then Scott, tell me, what's one principle, one belief, one idea that you stand behind even when all the haters tell you that you're wrong?
Don't let the volatility scare you. If you truly believe in the technology, Bitcoin goes through cycles. Whether you like it or not, it's just the way it's designed. I can't stand it, but it does. So if you truly believe in the blockchain technology, which is here to stay, guys, if you look at JP Morgan Chase, Citibank, all the major players, they're all getting behind tokenization in Bitcoin. They're all getting behind blockchain technology. If you truly believe in Bitcoin and what it stands for, Ethereum, Solana, anything you want to talk about, buy in in the long term. Don't try to trade it. Do not use margin. And understand that the technology is here to stay. It's going to be widely adopted, whether people like it or not. And if you get in and you feel comfortable with your asset, hold it. And I promise you, more than likely, you will do very well. Not financial advice.
Not financial advice, yeah. Got a caveat there, right?
Yeah.
Matt, what's one principle that you believe in even when everyone says you're wrong?
Well, I think that the science, the blockchain, if you take all the coins and tokenizations out of it, the blockchain is a technology, as Scott said, that's here to stay. If you can just understand that, you don't have to understand all the other coins. You will also believe that, yes, blockchain is here. It's the new technology. It's the way. I believe stocks are going to be traded on the blockchain very soon. So when you talk about the immutability, the fact that it's sort of a non-debatable asset once you can see it on the blockchain, once people get that basic concept, it's much easier to understand all the rest of the market.
All right, thanks guys, and thank you for watching and listening. This is Joe Justice, the Kanawha Valley Hustler, reminding you to hustle hard, hustle smart, and hustle with a smile.